Celeste Hackett, and I am a board certified hypnotist. My business is Family First Hypnosis. And here's what I do in the first session, okay? So with Brandy, she wanted to get better at her sport. Do you remember the other goals that you had? I think you, can you tell me?
It was the things that I wanted to get better in or grow in was my confidence, grow in self-esteem, just being able to express myself, being open, being free, not shutting down emotionally and mentally when I get to, or when I feel like I'm being attacked, or if I feel like I'm going to be hurt, or if I'm afraid or nervous or something, or doing something I'm uncomfortable with.
And that was where it was showing up in your sport. You just shut down if you started getting that sense.
And I didn't even.
But that was happening also with people. Mm-hmm. If you thought someone was going to bully you or be mean to you, is that what you're saying?
And then like just not knowing the person, if they like come to me, I'd just be like,
shut down.
Yeah. Not liking to talk to people, not making friends and stuff.
The second session is uncovering the root cause of problems. We kind of already knew that there was, some nervousness there from what you'd been through, and we knew that it had something to do with your childhood. Was there anything about that session that surprised you, or at all?
I wouldn't say it necessarily surprised me, but I would say that I was not looking forward to it because I knew we were gonna dig pretty deep from things that I had buried for so long. And I didn't want to uncover them because I didn't want to go through that same feeling, like emotion, like experiencing it all over again. But I knew that it would help because I need to let it go, and I needed to overcome it. So,
were you surprised at how far back it went?
Yes.
How far back did it go? I can't remember now. I think you were pretty little.
That was when I was the first time I'd felt rejection.
See, this stuff can go deep, and this is why a lot of times therapy, which works with the conscious mind, doesn't find all this stuff because it's in the subconscious and it's so deeply buried. And that was probably the root cause of everything. Right. Even though all that other stuff happened, that was the beginning. That was when the seed was planted. So in the session, there were some painful moments. But by the time we kept working on it, you start feeling better in the session. And then when you emerge from the session, you feel better. And then it soaks in and you keep feeling better.
When I emerged from this session, I feel like a brand new person.
So when did it start affecting your practice time? I know you haven't really competed yet, right?
I actually have a match in like 2 weeks.
I'm so excited. How do you feel about it?
I'm very excited. I'm ready.
Oh, how would you have felt before?
Before, I always had like this nervousness before. Like I was excited to compete because I love fighting, but there was also this.
Tell them the kind of fighting you do.
I do mixed martial arts, MMA. So it's boxing, Muay Thai, grappling, jiu-jitsu, mixed together, wrestling.
You were practicing. I don't know if you did any sparring, but you were practicing. So did you notice you felt different after the second and third session, or were you still feeling the same, just inside?
I could tell that there was a difference because before I came to you, I was getting ready for a fight that I had, and I had about 6 weeks of training. And mentally, I was not ready. And this is when my coach, Eshkadar, my uncle, this is when he really saw like there's an issue that I need
There's
to
a
handle.
block.
Right. That's exactly what he said too. He's like, there's a mental block. There's something that's keeping you from letting go. And I was sparring almost like maybe like 2-3 times a week, like when we got closer to the event. And the people that I start with, it's people that I train with every day. So like we know each other, we're comfortable with each other, we're always in each other's faces, you know. And so when we were sparring, we weren't like trying to hurt each other or anything, but we were going harder because I'm trying to get ready for my fight. So I need to have that more realistic, you know,
something more aggressive.
Right. And like for myself, I noticed that I was holding back, not necessarily like not trying to hurt them, but because I have that discipline and that practice, so I won't. But almost like I would just like ball up and just stop fighting back, and I would just let them like keep hitting me. Like I wasn't blocking, I was like keeping my hands down, and I was just taking hits.
Wow.
Like they would like go for a takedown wrestling.
And your uncle saw that.
And he did. And like there was some times where he would stop the sparring session and he was like, and he would come to me, he's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know what's wrong. I feel like I'm not here, like I'm not connected, but I don't know what the problem is. And he was like, it's mental. It has to be something psychological. And he was like trying encouraging me. He was telling me like he knows how good I am, how good I can be, and he was like, there's something blocking you, and it has to be something from your past. He was like, 'cause he understands that, and he's seen it before. So he was like, there's a mental block, you have to get past it, or you won't be able to fight. Like you won't be able to ever get past or get any better than what
You're always
right
going to
now.
just be right there.
Right, like
Yeah.
you can only get to a certain point and then just.
Wow.
That's it. He always incorporates that fighting is like, I think he says 80 or 90% mental, and the rest is physical. Like, cause when you go in the ring, it's just you against that person, but it's also you against yourself. And if you're not able to like let go and be free, then you can't succeed, and you can't fight, and you can't even not just in the ring, but fighting like in life. So
Succeeding in life. Standing up for yourself, speaking up for yourself, joining in conversation. Sometimes you've got to be social just to put yourself out there to move ahead in life.
Just being able to connect like to other people or to another person, and just different degrees it affects you in like every way.
That's awesome. So the anger was gone after the fourth session at others, and so you felt some relief there.
Yeah, definitely. Like physically too, it was like a weight had lifted off of my chest, off of my shoulders. I felt lighter.
Wow.
Just day to day, like speaking to people, and I didn't feel like I was an angry person before, but now I
Now for
definitely
sure
say
not, right?
I always felt like it was hard to get me upset because I was good at shutting my emotions off, but now it's more so because I don't feel angry.
So the difference between shutting the emotions off and not letting somebody get to you, kind of like a challenge, right? And you're just not going to get to me, as opposed to there's just nothing there because I'm just full of love,
right, and joy,
and joy, and peace.
Right.
Yeah. The kind of hypnosis that you want to do is, or the kind of hypnotist you want to find is a 5-path hypnotist. To me, those are hands down the best, but I'm kind of partial, I guess. But anyway, all right, and yes, you can call me too if you want. But then the last thing is forgiveness of self. We worked on that. What was that one like for you?
That one did not feel good for me.
Dun, 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 dun.
I feel like I want to say the last 3 sessions are the hardest for me.
Yeah.
3 or 4.
Yeah, they were. I remember that.
Yeah.
They were for you. Yeah.
They were the hardest for me.
Yeah.
Forgiveness of self.
You have to face all the stuff you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have to forgive myself, even though I feel like I wasn't deserving to be forgiven.
Yeah.
That's why it was so hard for me. And so painful because like for so long, so many years, I always blamed myself for the things that I'd gone through. Yeah. And I had to come to terms and accept that it wasn't my fault, and that I'm not a bad person, and I wasn't a bad child, and I wasn't like there wasn't anything wrong with me.
Can't skip the steps. First, you have to find the root cause and understand yourself and get over fears and misconceptions about whatever's going on in your life or whatever underlying ideas are causing your problem. You got to get over that. Then you got to get over the anger at others. And then when it comes time to forgive yourself, you think, well, if everybody else deserves forgiveness, maybe it's okay to forgive me too. Thanks so much. And I know this is going to help a lot of people.